I was saying to you earlier on, I'm taking issue with you because you're not in it long enough, this film.
No, well, I think that's true of everything I'm in.
I know, exactly.
I was in it long enough that we shot an enormously protracted bare-knuckle fight, very bloody and nasty, with some guys who thought it was slightly sissy-ish not to make contact with each other, so they were insisting that we kick each other in the face and stuff. In many ways, the whole thing together is a love letter to Rio.
It's very
called Rio,
much
I Love
so.
You, and it really is. If you don't get to go for the Olympics, I mean, anyone watching, if you can get on a plane, I would suggest you go there rather than watch a film. If you can't go there,
watch the movie.
Watch the movie.
It is, you're right, because they did Paris and New York, and now this is Rio, and it is a beautiful, beautiful city.
It is, but it's not all pretty. I mean, it's a very, very dangerous place, and there are hidden corners of it.
Exactly, that's what I was just going to say, and the film doesn't shy away from that either.
No, it was I mean, it was dangerous being there. They kept on assuring me, everyone I was with, the producers and directors, because there's 7 different brilliant directors from around the world, but we were all there in this kind of summer camp of filmmakers, and they were all going, it's not dangerous. However, they're telling you this while you're driving in a bulletproof car with armed guards.
Right.
And there was one time we were in a restaurant somewhere, and I had a headache, and I said, I just stood up to walk out the front. They said, where are you going? I said, I'm just going to go and buy a pill next door, you know, aspirin or something. They said, you can't go. And I said, but this is a nice area, the nice restaurants. And they wouldn't let me walk 100 yards by myself.
Right.
However, there's extraordinary beauty and this incredible, jaw-dropping wealth just hand in hand next to the most heartbreaking poverty. And sometimes it's hard to tell which is which. So they had these mountain tops, whole mountains covered in what looked like beautiful little huts. And they're the favelas, which has no running water, no electricity, and have you know, terrible gang violence and drugs throughout it. And they're just right next to these beautiful hotels we were staying in. So it's a city of contrast.
Very much so, very much so. But I mean, that's the thing, though. There's a movie about that story. I would love to see the movie about that story. That's a fascinating story.
I will tell both the director and the financiers.
Could you get working
I would. I mean,
on
I do think there is. It's a very intriguing premise. The man who wrote it and directed, Guillermo Arriaga, is the guy who wrote Babel and 21 Grams and a great Spanish film called Amores Perros. And he's a very twisted, brilliant storyteller. Anyone who's a fan of films will notice there's a car crash in each of those stories. And in this one, too, starts by crippling and somebody's wife, and this famous boxer loses an arm. And then he boxes bare knuckle to make money for his wife's operation. And I said to him, why is there a car crash in every single one of your films? He went, is there? I said, you know there is. You must know there is. And he went, yeah. I don't know, I just like car crashes. But there's something going on there with him. And he came up with this intriguing proposition. And you have that in common with the entire crew. Desperate to know what happens.
I want to know what happens.
Desperate to know how it resolves.
No, I really do. So we need to get working on that. Now, the next thing you're doing, it couldn't be more different. You're a cartoon. You're a vampire.
I am. Some people say I'm a cartoon.
Look, there's you. That's you as a cartoon.
That is me.
That is you. That is great fun to do things like that, because then you can just, you are. You're Dracula.
There's Dracula, and there's fabulous cast. There's Emily Watson and Catherine Tate and Nick Frost and a bunch of other folk.
Can I just say, I loved your hair in Harry Potter.
Thanks
your
very much.
Hair.
Every day that I worked over 10 years, I always had 4 or 5 kids visiting. And on the one hand, it was maybe the best day of their lives, and they talk about it forever. On the other hand, it destroyed all of their childhood, because suddenly there's, you know, Hagrid having a fag or whatever. And,
and he's not that giant. Well, he's quite big. I mean, but he's not as big as you would think.
The magic, it wasn't quite real. And they'd say, where's Dobby? I was just an excuse to come and meet Dobby, and they rarely got to meet him.
Oh. But still, the movies are there and we love them. Now, look, good luck with everything that you're doing in the future, because you work constantly all the time.
I'm just useless at home, and my wife needs me out of the front door.
She just says, go out the front
Actually, that's not quite true. I've been away almost constantly for 2 years. I'm trying to find work that is not the other side of the world, because it's an odd job being an actor, and it's great when you're single. But I'm trying to find work, you know, here on the south bank of the Thames, so I can go home to my own bed.
That sounds good. Thank you, love. And Rio, I Love You is out now.
So we won't talk about Scottish independence. I'm told that's off the agenda.
Tis. Now, just
me amazing things before we went on
my interview with Helen Mirren, here's how you could win £80,000.